hey, hi, welcome back to another video. Today I am making a granny octagon shirt. Now I have already made this once before and I have it right here. This is by, I think, Drama Crochet? Hold on. Let me actually look it up. I should know what I'm talking about before I start talking to you. Drama Crochet Annie on YouTube. It's basically like the hexagon cardigan, however it's an octagon, so that it's all one piece instead of two different pieces that you have to sew together. I think it's a great idea. I've made it once before. Here it is. This is, I believe, a size medium. I'm going to double check the pattern just to make sure. And I used this mandala bonus. I had two skeins, and this one took up most of the first one, but I do have a little bit left over. So for this one, I'm thinking we take both of these, put it together, and we make like a large or extra large, so that I'll have two different sizes. I love this yarn. It is a weight 3. It is 100% acrylic. It is 181 yards, and it recommends a 5mm crochet hook. And then this is the color Yeti. It has all kinds of grays and yellows and whites and browns. And so I really liked how this turned out, and I wanted to make another one. And I loved the drape on this since it is a weight 3 and I'm using a large hook. I believe it was a number 6 hook, which I have here. I'm going to double check that on my video that I made this last. I made it a long time ago with some other things, so I'm just going to double check that, double check my sizing, and we're going to make a size large today. I liked the drape from this yarn because it is a thinner weight 3 and I'm using the bigger hook, so I think it drapes really well. I did change a little bit the construction. I did a different join as you go to connect up the sleeves on the last round. And then I believe they've also updated how to start instead of having this like chain in the middle. So I'm also excited to have that updated and just have it be a little bit more seamless. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think it looks great. I think it fits great, and I'm excited to make another one and hopefully use up the rest of this yarn because this is a huge cake that I would love to get out of my stash. I think that's all I have for the intro, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get crocheting. I have an update. I am on, I think, row 11. I'm not sure if I want to finish this row and then start like the actual like octagon, because obviously this is not an octagon, this is a rectangle. So I'm not sure if I want to do one more round or once I finish this round, then make the octagon. It says on the chart that I'm using for the size guide that I need to do 11 rounds. However, that was whenever like your first round was like on a chain instead of like a double crochet cluster. So the way that like this works, I think I ended up with like one less wide than I was supposed to. Like I think it was supposed to be like 18 and I only did 16. I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. So then like this technically second round, but the first like actual full round is the one that has 18. So I'm thinking I would do one more just so that it is the number of clusters it's supposed to be all the way around. Am I making sense? I hope this makes sense. I think I just decided I am going to do one extra round. So it's going to be 12 rounds instead of the 11 that I have now or about to finish. I'm also very much liking how the colors are pooling. I like how there was just a little bit of brown left over from my last one, and then now it's going straight into the dark gray. I have about this much left, which I'm hoping will last to the end. Not a huge deal if it doesn't. Luckily for me, I bought these both whenever Joann's was going out of business, so I got a huge discount on them, and I was able to pick out two that looked basically the same. So I basically like ended my last one right on like the last bit of this brown. But it starts on this like darker gray, which is perfect so that whenever I finish this one, I can immediately tie on the outside of this one and it'll be like a seamless like ombre that it's supposed to be. So that's really great. Oh my gosh, this is also so soft and it's huge. And so I'm really, really excited about this project. I think it's gonna look great. I think it's gonna be great. And I think it also helps because on this, the first one I made, the gray, because these rows are so short, it just looked like a huge block of gray. But I think this brown is gonna help break that up a little bit and have the colors almost appear a little bit more distributed. So I think that'll also be very good. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna finish up my row that I'm on. I'm gonna do one more before I start the actual octagon portion. I don't know if I will get there tonight. I'm hoping that I will. Oh no, I'm sure I will. It's only like a row plus like 20, so I think I will.
Okay, so how do we want to do this? We want to go straight through here, don't we? Yeah. I think we can see it there.
Good evening. I'm about to go to bed. I'm very tired, so I'm sorry if I'm incoherent. Here's my progress for the day. I am, I think, 5 rows into the actual octagon portion, so it'll be folded up like this. I know it looks a little funky now, but it'll work, I promise. I have been in a sea of gray, and I'm so ready to move on to other colors. Luckily, I worked my way until we started the transition from gray to yellow. So it's kind of this like almost greeny, yellowy gray color. But at least I'm out of the gray. That's really what I was pushing for tonight, is just to get out of it so that tomorrow I'm not like in a slog of gray. I know later on, because like you're literally working around the entire thing, the later rows are gonna be a lot and they're gonna take a long time. And so I'm hoping to not get slogged out before then, so I wanted to make sure that I had like something to look forward to tomorrow, which is working up the yellow. So yeah, I'm glad I did that. I made it a lot farther actually than I thought I was going to tonight, just because I felt like I remembered this project taking a long time, but I'm pretty sure that was the very like last few rows because you were literally going around everywhere. It's also definitely going to be a large. I mean, that's how wide it is. So, very happy about this, and I'm excited to keep working on it. There was definitely a lot of gray just because it was both the old skein and the new skein. So hopefully my kind of color stripes will get shorter and shorter from here, because longer rows, and also I didn't have to tie on extra of the color from the previous skein. Happy with progress today. This is actually a lot. I'm really surprised with how much I've done today. Probably not going to do this much tomorrow, but progress is progress. Good morning. I'm back again to work on this. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done. Today's kind of a busy day. I have a lot of household chores and kind of a party celebration this afternoon to the evening. So I don't know how much this is gonna get done. Hoping at least a row. That's my goal. 1 row today. I have quite a lot to do, as you can see by this being where our sleeve is at. No one's arm is fitting through here. So, a lot of work to do, but it's gonna get done. Good morning. I know it might not look like morning. It is a very rainy day today, which is fine. I mean, the last few days has been very warm. The snow is finally melting where I am. There's still a little bit, but the rain will hopefully take care of a good amount of it. Here is my project. I'm so happy with how far it's coming along in, like, what has it been? 2 days? This is day 3. This is working up a lot faster than it did last time, I think. Which is awesome because I remember last time struggling to even like finish it, you know? Here's our progress. As you can see, sleeves are in the making, however, very much not done. I can fit my arm in the sleeve, however, it is tight. Plus also, since this is a large, it is very much disproportional, definitely will not close, and also probably someone who is of a larger size would not be able to fit their arms through. So we definitely have some work. I think I'm halfway done of the actual octagon portion, which is fine because I got plenty of yarn and I have time. It's going by actually pretty fast. Yeah, I think it's going well so far. I got to the light yellow last night, so here's how our cake looks. A lot smaller than it was before. I'm hoping to at least get to white today. I have all day. I'm just gonna be doing this all day. So, yeah, hopefully we will get to the white. This was just my little progress update.
As to the weather and the transport, I haven't got notes for a reprint. I haven't either.
I am a little bit concerned. I've been working very diligently, and I've gotten to the end of the white and into the brown. However, this is how we are looking. It looks pretty good, however, arms still aren't wide enough on both sides. Here's how it looks. Definitely some more room to go. This is all the yarn I have left. According to the pattern, I have the rest of this row plus like 7 rows. The transition from the yellow to the white, I think, was only like 3 rows. No, maybe it was more, because this is different from the dark yellow to the light yellow to the white. Now, the light yellow looks like it's different. However, there was also this really light yellow, so I was thinking there was only 3 rows between like this really light yellow and this white. So if there was only 3 rows for this brown and 3 rows for this gray, then that's only 6 rows, and I need like 8. But it looks like the lighter yellow was more of a transition than I thought, so maybe I'm actually okay. Because if I count the like not super light yellow, but like the transition yellow, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be okay. I'm cutting it close. This looks like so much yarn, so like I should be good. But also, like, imagine how big it was, and we only tied it on in the dark gray. And we've gone through, I guess, 2 colors. Although the white was really short, apparently. I don't know. I'm a little worried. I guess only time will tell. Plus, I'm not taking all of this back if I'm only short 2 rows. Hopefully it'll be fine. I mean, it looks like it should be. It might be a little tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be fine. I don't know. I'm a little scared, but crossing my fingers. Hopefully it'll all be okay. Good morning. It is several days later, but I finished our cardigan. It is, I think, 3 rows short. However, this was all the yarn I had left. This is not enough to do another round, but it is all attached, and I've done a single crochet border around all of the kind of body area and then also the sleeves. So I think it's fine. The sleeves might look a little thin, but I think it'll be fine. I think it's just a little extra long. But yeah, I'm still really happy with it. I like how the gray kind of comes back on the outside. I think getting the whole mix of colors this time was really, really awesome. Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. Like I said, this is all I have left. This is just gonna go in my scrap pile of yarn. It looks a little bit funky because I am also wearing long sleeves. Eh? This is an extra large, so it is definitely big, but I think it's gonna be fine. I think it looks good. I think the sleeves aren't like too small where like you can't fit your arm in, but they're at least big enough that you can fit your arm in. I think before it was gonna be like super roomy, but now it's just small enough to fit your arm, or just big enough to fit your arm through, but not too small. Okay, next I want to make a cardigan, another cardigan. I want to make, or I guess actually I'm planning on doing a pullover. If you remember months and months and months ago, I did a granny hexagon pullover with Karen Jumbo Ombre, and I have another color. I've actually made two so far. One was a pullover, one was a cardigan. I want to do another pullover, and so I have this color. It is Whitewater. I have 3 of these skeins, so I'm planning on doing a pretty big size. I do have to see what the other 2 sizes are, and I want to make a different size than those are. I think I have like maybe a small or a medium and either a large or an extra large. I think it's an extra large and either a small or a medium. So maybe I'll make a large or something. I'm gonna double check before I start. But yeah, this is my plan. Hexagon pullover 2.0. I'm also hoping to do like an exaggerated color. On the one that I made before, I didn't have enough yarn because I only had 2 skeins of that color. But whenever you do the pullover, you don't pull it all the way up, so there's like a little flap. And so I want to continue to add rows on that flap to make kind of like a big collar. That's kind of my vision. That's what I'm going for, and I'm pretty excited to see how it turns out. So that's what we're making now. Good evening. I figured I should give you an update. There's your update. No, I'm just kidding. We're on row 19 out of 23. Row 24, we connect the sleeve, or the, I guess, shoulder, so that we can then start working on the sleeve. We're doing pretty good. I'm just finishing up the like next dark row, so I'm back to like the kind of transition color. This is how our skein is. She's very floppy, not a whole lot left. I'm hoping that this will last us most of the next like 4 rows, and then I can grab the 3rd skein that I have, use up half of it to finish out whatever rows I have left, and then make the sleeve. And then that way I can use my 3rd plus the half to make the other side. Because I'm not doing like the cardigan, I'm just doing a pullover. I don't have to like add extra rows for the back, and then I might have some left over to add some length if I want to. I'm not sure that I do. I might want like a cropped look for it, is kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully this will last me, I'm hoping at least another 2 rows. Just so I'm not pulling too much from that middle skein. My goal tomorrow is to finish at least like the rows until I begin to join. Best case scenario, we get to the point where I can start the sleeve. I'm hoping that it won't be too long just because it is only 4 rows. However, this is getting very large, and so each row is taking longer and longer. So my goal is to at least get to the point where I'm doing that last row to sew up the shoulder. Best case scenario, we can start working on the sleeve. It's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm kind of done for tonight. It's like 9:30. I'm kind of tired, so I might go to bed soonish. But my hands are done. So I'm feeling pretty good, but not even halfway. So you will not believe what has happened. Here is where I ran out of yarn. My little yarn tail. right here. This is the end of my row. Last night, whenever I checked in with you, I said I had 4 more rounds, I think. This was the end of round 2. So that little bit of yarn lasted me almost 2 full rounds. So close. I needed 2 more clusters. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the 2 other skeins that I have. I know one of them is very similar to this, where we start with dark in the middle and then it goes out to being like this medium shade with a stripe of light and dark in between. I don't know whether or not it transitions back to the light color, because it literally happened like here, where it transitioned back, starting to get into the light color. So the other skein might not get there. And so I'm thinking I might put this half off to the side, grab that skein that's similar to this one, work up the other half so that the 2 halves are matching-ish, and then grab the third skein after so that I can make sure that the gradients line up for both of them. Even though I'm tying on a new skein, I want to make sure that the gradients are still even, especially if I have 2 more rows here. And since this one is just starting to get to the light color, I don't want to tie on the third off skein to match up this one and then not grab it in a good enough spot for the other skein. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. That's the way I'm leaning towards. I'm just going to put this one off to the side, even though we are so close, and I'm just going to make the other half and then use a third skein to finish them both off and make the sleeves and the border and stuff. I think that sounds pretty good. Here's one skein of Karen Jumbo Ombre. How's it look? That was very smooth. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm gonna put this off to the side, gonna work on the other one, make them 2 so that they're even, and then do the third one to finish it all off. I think that just makes the most sense. I have a big issue. Do you see the issue? Probably not. This half started dark. Neither of these start with dark. Plus, they're also the opposite. This one, they both start with a medium, but then this one goes into dark and this one goes into light. So all 3 of my skeins are different, which means the 2 halves are not going to match, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. It's what I would have preferred, but it's not the end of the world. Looking at this one, I would like the light to stand out more in the other half, because this only has like a littler stripe of light compared to the 2 sections of dark. However, whenever it's actually being worn, the like middle corner section isn't really going to be seen very often, so I'm afraid that if I do this one, this bit of light is going to be kind of hidden away. Then we are also going to get it twice here, whereas this one we do not. Okay. If I start with this one, right, and I work all the way across, I'm going to end in the middle going into dark. This one is the middle going into dark. If I use up half of it, I'll start hopefully where this light starts, right? So I can use this half for this one and the outer half for the one I've already made. That will make this one more light heavy because it has 2 rounds of light rather than the 2 rounds of dark that are on this one. So they'll be different, but they'll be like so different that it doesn't look like a mistake, maybe. You know, it's just like fun. I think I'm cooking. Okay, this one will be used for the extra, for the half sleeves and border and stuff. I landed right on the floor. And then we're gonna go ahead and start with this skein, working on the other half of the sweater pullover situation.
But I don't know. We'll see how I feel if I want to. I mean, they're both stretchy, right?
Good morning, it's the next day. I made it to row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did the math. I think like the first side of row 16 technically is like halfway. So we're almost halfway. I don't have a ton of time to crochet today. I think I only have like 3-ish hours, maybe 2.5 to work on this, so we'll see how it goes. Not sure how much I'll get done. My goal, I guess, for the next 2.5 hours is to get to a point where I am halfway. Make it, probably through all the way of round 16. Good evening. It's the next day. It is 4 o'clock. I have a lot of work to do. I didn't update you at the end of yesterday. I think we made it to 16 rounds. I don't remember. 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, sorry. We're almost done with row 16. So that's really good. I need 7 more rows. However, if we remember to our row from before, I don't think we'll quite make it all the way to those last 7 rounds. So we're just gonna finish out the skein. It's getting a little floppy. Definitely used like over half, maybe half. So we're doing pretty good, but not quite done. We're at the dark. We're about to go back into the medium. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on this. My goal today, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish the skein, but my goal is to get as close as possible to finishing the skein today. That way we can crack open the new one tomorrow. That's basically my plan. Crack open the new one tomorrow, whether or not it's first thing tomorrow or in the afternoon tomorrow.
You saw her in game and it sucked. I feel like that ice cube's a little bit too big. So that's unfortunate. I think I gotta do it again.
I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but I know someone was so generous and did a 5,000 donation, which is incredible, so freaking cool. Oh my god, yeah, thank you so much.
Last night, I made quite a bit of progress. I think I'm on row 20 now. I don't remember which row I was on before, but I stopped right as I hit the very light color. So we're officially back on the light. This is what my skein is looking at. Very floppy. My goal for today is to finish this for sure. Stretch goal, finish the entire half. That might be a little ambitious, but that's my plan today. I have quite a bit of time, not all day, but a good amount of time to really put towards this. So I'm just gonna get started like right now.
Let's start rock smashing some of this. And I'll fill it in. Her situation was remedied and I think it looks great. So I'm very pleased with how this came out. When you look closely, her body may be slightly awkward looking, but I mean...
I don't know if I told you, change my shirt, same day. I have officially tied on the other skein. I had to pull a little bit, a good amount from the middle, so I was starting on the same color to complete the gradient, so it wasn't like a weird transition. Here's how we're looking. Decrease for the sleeve. We're about to start the ribbing. The sleeve is like actually connected, so it will actually like wear. However, there is one problem. I started it here, which for a cardigan is fine because you would add a little bit in the back so that your neck would have room. However, I'm making a pullover, and making a pullover, you need room for your neck because this is going to be sewed on to the other side. So I was like, oh my gosh, I just like messed up really bad, and now I'm going to have to like pull it out and then like do an extra like finish out the round, not attaching it, and then I'm gonna have to cut it and sew it and then complete the rest of the sleeve and then cut it and then sew the cuff and like all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just made so much more work for myself. And then I thought about it. I'm gonna have to rip back the like decrease that I did on the sleeve all the way up back here. I'm gonna continue as if I wasn't joining as I went. And it's going to be 2 different pieces until maybe here. And then I'm going to start the join as I go in the middle of a round. Then I'll sew the 2 other pieces together and I'll have that room for the neckline, have a little flap, maybe make it a nice big collar. We'll see how much yarn I have. And then that got me thinking, if I do that, I've already made the other half pullover, but it's not yet complete. So as I'm doing the final row, I'm gonna like do one side and then I'm gonna join the next side to the back of this. And then I'll do another side for the bottom and then I'll join up the top to a certain point and then I'll stop to make the little like flap for the like collar and then I'll do the exact same thing where I join as I go. No sewing other than the like ribbing on the cuffs. It's all join as you go. I'm so smart. I'm such a genius. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I still have to rip out everything that I did in the last like hour, but that's fine. We're gonna watch a movie. We're watching The Hobbit Part 2, so it's like 3 hours, I think. 2.5 maybe. Hoping that will be enough to redo everything, plus maybe finish the cuff, if not be super close. Sucks, but I also want it to fit well and actually be what I envisioned. Plus then I will have this hopefully to make the collar like big and exaggerated, or at least bigger than like 2 little flaps like the other one that I made a few months ago looks. I just think it'll be nice. I have one sleeve fully done. I finished this last night. I crocheted probably way too much yesterday because my elbow is definitely feeling it. My wrists are fine, my hands are fine. It's just my like elbow right around where it like goes around my bone. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do. But I finished the actual sleeve portion. And my plan worked really well actually to just not start the join as you go until later on. I think this is a pretty good amount for a neck hole. Maybe a little too much, but also we're adding a border around it so it'll kind of close it in just a little bit. I have not sewn together the actual cuff yet. Pretty happy with the size of it. I think I might have been able to make it a little bit longer, just to kind of like have it go like, you know, but overall not bad, not mad at it. Like I said, this is a like 2X, I think, so it is very large on me. Definitely needs a good steam. Very large in the sleeves, but I think that's fine because it needs to be large all the way around in order to fit. So happy with this. This is how our yarn skein is looking. Actually really good. The half that I haven't finished, that I'm gonna join to this half, finished right as we were starting this very light color, so I don't have that much more to pull, and it's just going to give us more yarn for the actual edging pieces, and then if I decide to put a bigger collar on it, if I have the yarn for it, it should go from like this light color all the way to the end. I might also have to maybe like tie on some of this, but this should be the same amount of yarn, like it should be halfway full. Could I pull out my scale and weigh it? Yes. I don't want to. I'm lazy and I have plenty of yarn. It ends like in the middle. This is the middle. This is the middle. It'll all be fine. Good morning. It is a cloudy, rainy day today, so I apologize if my lighting is not great. Last night, I finished it. It is all done. Ends woven in and everything. Cuffs sewn shut. I went ahead and I did 5 extra rounds on the like top collar portion. So it looks like this. But then whenever you fold it over, it gives this nice big exaggerated collar, which is exactly what I wanted, and it looks so good. I'm so happy with it. This was done in basically 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. That's crazy. I had 8 ends. These are my ends. This is it for all of this, because I like joined as I went. I will take a steam and try to like flatten where I joined the 2 panels, because those are a little bit raised, and so I'd like to flatten those out just a little bit. However, not terrible. Like, it doesn't look that bad. I'm super happy. I think also with time it would just wear down itself, but a nice steam would also give it a little bit more loosey-goosiness. I'm really happy. Also, I was hoping that like they would both end with dark, but this is like a darker of the like medium color, so it almost like fades back this way kind of. A little bit. Super happy. I think it looks great. Definitely a size like extra large to extra large. I'll have to measure it and make sure. That's what I got. I got 2 cardigans done this week, which is pretty good if you ask me. And yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really excited that these are done. These are like big projects that I've had on my list for a long time. So I'm really happy to have them done, and the yarn is out of my stash. I did have this for leftovers, which I'm going to add to my pile of scrap wait for yarn. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm glad to have them done. I have a bunch of things on my list for my market that I want to make. And so these were kind of like the biggest items that I really had the yarn for, knew I wanted to make, and knew I wanted them at the market. So I'm just really excited that they're officially done and over with. You'll probably see more of those items in the coming weeks. I have a bunch of ideas for different tops and mesh sleeves and bandanas and all of that wonderful things. More tops are coming, I promise. Hopefully they won't take me quite as long, because these definitely took me a long time, which is expected, right? They're bigger projects. However, I was also hoping that they would be done a little bit quicker than they ended up being. That is all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you like it. Subscribe so that you don't miss any more of my future videos. I post a lot of crochet vlogs, every once in a while a crochet challenge video. So if that thing sounds good to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on those. Or check out any of the other videos that I've posted in case you want to be entertained in the meantime. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.